let me introduce a panel moderated by Arpi Karapetian, founder and CEO of Cascade People and business and chairman of the Armenian HR Association, very appropriately. Mr. Ahmed Adel, Learning and Development Senior Lead at VOIS. Ms. Vanessa Pozzali, co-founder of Synthesis. Dr. Tarek Jamar, co-founder of Synthesis. And Dr. Mohammed Samir, PCC coach and managing director of GLP. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. How are you? I want us to imagine that you spent kind of years to carve a statue by your hand. You look attentively to the stone. You touched its rough surface, and you try to find where to start. Gradually, this statue is becoming to form under the careful strikes of your tool and turning from the rough block to something really nice. And then, all of a sudden, you are given another tool, the one that knows exactly where to cut, how to keep the angle of the knife, and where to put the pressure. It seems it knows everything and it thinks itself, analyzing the contour and making your life easier and your work quicker. But the question is whether you trusted this tool, the new one. Because trust is not just quality. Trust is more about understanding. We trust when we really feel that we are kind of in control. We trust when we know that something will deliver, and we trust when it is aligned with our values. So the question is, how we build trust with AI? How do we know when we can let technology to decide and lead us? How do we keep our human touch while we are using this tool? We are going to explore the answers to these questions together with my panelists. And I really want to give a big applause to these people that agreed to come and be on our panel. And let's start. Being far away from you. Hello, Ahmed, do you see me? Yeah. I want to start with a very, start question, like small question. Just one thing that you really are excited about, how AI is influencing HR and how HR management will benefit in this. Just one thing. And then we go for other questions. Thank you. Who wants to start?
Does anyone hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I can start. First of all, I work with, I'm actually in the learning and development team, and I work in that field, and I really love that educational aspect. And I think what's really exciting nowadays about AI in the learning field is predictivity. It's like everything right now is absolutely predictive, like it's an enhanced way of hiring and predictive learning, predictive employees, predictive hiring techniques that are merging into the field that really raise the bar forward. So I think this is something that is crucially important, especially in the HR field and learning field in general. So this is one thing that could be really exciting because AI is taking things to another level.
Another level?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Mohammed?
Since I'm working in life coaching and career coaching, so it's a part of the HR as well. I believe that one of the most important things that AI could be beneficial in the HR domain is transferring from one-size-fits-all approach, leadership or HR management, to personalized and individualized approach. And I believe the AI will help a lot in that, from one-size-fits-all to only personalized.
Personalized. Okay, thank you. Tarek?
So, hello everyone. So I come from a motorsports background, so I'm all about pushing performance and about culture. And AI is there actually to help us a lot when it comes to pushing performance, from writing an email to even building a strategy. However, I want to highlight the fact that the way I look at AI is not yet the friend that we can trust blindly. It's an acquaintance that you have to be curious about and master how to use it to then have that trust. So, thank you.
Do you trust AI?
It's an acquaintance for now, yes.
Okay.
I use it, I'm very curious, okay, but I will not say full trust.
Okay. What about you, Vanessa?
Hello, everyone. Coming from a psychological perspective, I would say what is exciting is the emotion that we have behind. AI is taking over a lot of tasks and somehow can be scary because maybe we go out of our comfort zone, doing something new, something different. But going out of this comfort zone and staying something that we don't know, the unknown, it gives us the opportunity to explore in ourselves and in the teams what is the opportunity, what do we want, how it is our vision, so we can pick on it and build it, our vision, embedded with the AI.
Thank you.
Thank you too.
I have a question to Ahmed. You are like long years in learning and development, and you are the one that is really like revolutionizing and transforming learning and development industry. And speaking about power of AI in personalized learning, which sounds very strange for me, I really want to get your feedback on this and how your vision is influencing the training and development departments and divisions in the big companies.
Well, that's a long story. However, I try to cut it short for you. However,
Yeah.
think about it like that. As was Mohammed saying, that there was the technique of one size fits all. And right now it's becoming more personalized. This should not be itchy for anyone. Actually, this should be more relaxing for everyone, because imagine that the AI or the artificial intelligence, as people say, and I think we need to put many lines onto the word intelligence, because intelligence has multiple definitions, and I see the intelligence from my point of view as more of creativity and intuition and connection and all that. While the AI does the jargon or the very difficult work for us, which is the information processing, that helps to customize the learning for each and every individual. Imagine that back in the days, we used to display a piece of knowledge for everyone to take in one methodology. We're just going to train that face-to-face, for instance. But now, you can customize and tailor the learning behavior itself according to your individual needs. So imagine you're an auditory person or kinesthetic person or someone that learned by visualization. So now AI can display that to you at any point of time. The greater thing about customization that you can learn on your own pace. that this is another thing that never existed before. So you can just have self-paced learning, synchronous, asynchronous, and a lot of variety right now for learners to have their education established and well established by AI. So I see this as a great advantage, and I would build also on Tariq's words. We need to take care about using the AI. However, we need to also understand that this is our co-pilot. We made that machine. So we should not be at any point of time feeling disturbed about it, because we made that. And we made it to make us comfortable. We made that to make us supporting us and helping us. So it's like you do the innovative work and let the analyze work for AI to do, and just customization more and more. So I think this is a happy days for me.
I have a question. I'm curious, when you're speaking about like own pace, and you are like leading a lot of divisions around the world, how you manage this?
I recently started to build learning academies, which was something that I was never exposed to before in my field. We used to use like the regular learning methodologies, but now I started to use agility in my training as well, which means that we involve the user experience in the process of designing curriculums, which made us change the project simultaneously based on the feedback that we're getting, which is something that never existed before. So that means that we're aiming for a project, and all of a sudden we get a feedback that can make us change the whole process to a totally different thing. But the beauty of it is that what comes out at the end is a very tailored track for leadership, for instance. So that means that it can take you from this step to that step flawlessly. So I think it's a great deal for the organization working for as well, and also globally. This is something that I think everyone acquire right now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mohammed, another question. Yeah, I have a tricky question for you, because you have transitioned from pharmaceutical industry to coaching a few years ago. How many years ago?
I started this transition maybe in 2016.
Okay, transition in 2016. And like you have this transition yourself, and also you are a coach, and you help people to understand what they want in their lives, especially in career. So I want to understand how you incorporate this, and how you see how we can incorporate this in the career development, career orientation, and career management of our employees within the organizations. In connection with AI.
In connection with AI, yes. As I said earlier, the one-size-fits-all approach is now changing. So imagine that when someone wants to change his career or have a career transition in separate ways. Normally there is a change, there is a fear of something. There is something called the change blockers. One of them is the fear. The other one is laziness. And the third one is surrender to the fact that I cannot, this is me. So again, there is a comfort zone. But once the person wants to change, even within the same career to higher position or whatever, he have to sit with, for example, with a coach, and we have multiple sessions until we discover a lot of things and we're finding the gaps. Imagine your organization have like 500 or 1,000, or like where I come from, there is an organization already I'm working within, in a project, they have 10,000. When we apply the AI and upload all the data that we need, and we just put the human factor of he want to change or whatever in transitions, the AI, by one click, just enter, it will give you exactly the gaps, what you supposed to fill it with, what learning, and quoting from Ahmed, and he exactly will say or tell you for this person which kind of training or learning methodology he's supposed to have. It's like his visual or something to attend physically. So imagine that. Yes, we can use it, and it will make our life easier. I'm not saying that life coach will disappear, because we sure there is a human factor in it. Maybe it will be clarified within our talk, maybe. I will leave it to the end.
How much you use AI in your coaching?
Actually, a lot.
You're not.
A lot.
A lot.
A lot, but it's like pre-session and sometimes post-session. Real time is the real challenge. And this is exactly how you're gonna do it. If you are sitting in front of a human and you're supposed to use something like AI, how it's gonna be? You put a camera? Imagine. You tell me, if I'm sitting with you now and sitting in a coaching session one-to-one and I'm putting like this screen in front of me with the data is coming up because you are talking and something is analyzing with the camera, are you feel comfortable? It will not.
Yeah.
Another thing, can we use like the normal, like the new AI glasses or something without telling names? Again, it will be weird. So this is a challenge for how to use it in real time, but it will help a lot pre and post sessions.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I'll skip you and I'll go to Vanessa, if you don't mind, Tarek. And then I will come back. Vanessa, you're a psychologist and you have very extensive practice. And I really want us to talk about corporate culture, communication, because you are dealing a lot with subconscious biases in communication at the workplace. And I want to see the connection, like the world is changing and AI is there, and how it can help us to deal with these kind of challenges.
Yeah. So picking from the relationship before, in 1966, a MIT professor invented one of the first chatbots, acting as a therapist. And it was working perfectly, better than the real therapist, actually. Spot on with every reply and questions, perfect. But actually, psychotherapists and psychologists are still around and are in demand right now. And that's because what is missing is relationship. We need to be validated by other human beings. So when we work in organization, AI is very helpful because analyze data, we have a questionnaire, our model for C, and we analyze the culture, which kind of culture the corporates have, and what is the unconscious dynamics that are going on. And AI, it's very helpful to analyze everything, but still we need to understand what is going on in the room, because people lie, especially on paper. People are afraid to tell the truth because they're afraid of being fired or have some backups in works.
Or punished.
Punished, exactly. So it's very important to have this ability to read the room, understand what's going on, train in your gut feelings. AI doesn't have all the context that we have about the culture or the different culture that are in the room. The AI yet is not able to pick up all the not verbal communication that is happening. And most of the time, we have like some thoughts and we say something is off. If we analyze the text, everything is perfect, but still we feel that something is off.
Yeah.
And we have to pick up on this and ask questions, and you can do it only if you're human. So AI, it's helpful for certain tasks. It's helpful to have this information. Someone was saying before, learning. Now all this information are available and can be digestible. You don't need to pay someone to know this thing. You don't need to read thousands of books to have the information you need. So this is available and is amazing, but still we need to be human and be in touch with the other to really understand what's going on.
And how you remove this bias with the help of AI when you are dealing with this unconscious?
So I start from the point that AI is biased.
AI is biased.
Yes,
Okay.
humans are biased.
Human are biased because they created AI. That's why AI is
Yes.
biased, right?
So, and the problem of AI doesn't put in discussion itself. We do. We doubt. We have doubt. And what is help us to explore, to change our ideas, to looking for something else. Artificial intelligence doesn't have doubts. They have response. Yes, everything is there, take it.
Yeah. Interesting. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tarek, I want us to talk about leadership, if you don't mind. Because you have developed this rogue model of leadership and you are dealing a lot with uncertainty and leadership in the times of uncertainty. And now AI, as it is, it's like adding more uncertainty in our lives. True?
Very true.
So I want to understand what to do with all of this.
Very interesting. So I'm not going to go into the details of the rogue model, but I want to mention that the R stands for reality and the U for understanding. Understanding in bold, capital letters, and underline. And actually, I want to share a story to help you understand why I talk about this. So when I moved to Italy a long time ago, I used to live in a house sharing. And we were 6 people in a big apartment. And we had a very small bin for recycling plastic bottles. This bin was getting filled 5 times the same day. So I was like, you know, as the engineer, performance, optimizing, what tool do we need to make our life less complicated? So I went to put a much bigger bin. I don't want to be there emptying it 5 times a day. And what happened actually, it made things worse. The bin was getting filled much quicker because the people stopped squashing the bottles. You know, an empty bottle is still a bottle full of air. And this made me reflect a lot, is that, and this is what I coach in HR and CEOs, the fact that when we try to implement a solution or a tool that works at the surface level, so to solve a consequence, we forget a very important element, which is the human behavior. And this is where I work, and on what I work with my clients, is by understanding our human behavior. This is where then you can harness a better solution. And then maybe you start looking at uncertainty as an opportunity rather than an obstacle that needs to be demolished and move on.
And what is rogue model in 2 words?
So the rogue model, I'm going to try to keep it short. So it's a coaching model I created and published a paper you can find in the British Psychological Society. So it's to help the leader go through the different phase in deep understanding. So the R stands for reality. So my message to the coaches actually who are coaching other leaders is take your time to understand the reality. And for you HR, take your time to understand the current reality of AI, but also the reality of how people feel about AI. So the pros and cons. Remember the acquaintance bit before the trustworthy friend. Then the O stands for opportunity or options. So then, I'm not going to go into those details now, but then from that you can go through a goal or a gap to help the leader understand if there is a gap I need to solve. So in the case of AI, it's perfect. The opportunity is AI, the outcome is improving performance. So what's the gap currently between our reality in this department and the outcome we want? And then from that gap, we dive into the understanding to then close with the E, which stands for effectiveness. How we can make this very effective.
And use AI.
Yes.
And use AI, yeah. Let's not forget about the topic.
Definitely.
So I want to add a little twist in our conversation. So I will go with quotes and I will ask you to connect it with human resource management and AI and the changing times that we're living and ask you for your reaction on this, okay? So the first quote is, the real problem is not whether machines think, but whether men do. by Skinner. And I'll ask Vanessa what she thinks and how she relates.
Yeah, absolutely true. It's very important what we do. But there is a thing. Human build machine. Machine are made to do something and are made in a way that when you interact, human-machine interaction, you are kind of forced to take some certain actions or behavior. Especially when we are tired, we are not thinking about it. We do think, and we don't know why. It's because the machine is built in a way that make you act in that ways. Thinking about social network, they are built to share information. What people do with this information, they will sell to companies to sell at products.
Right.
So it's important to understand, I think the most important thing is awareness. Why a machine, a technology is built, what is the end goal, and what the machine wants from us.
What they want from us.
Yeah.
What they want from us.
Depend of the machine, depend of the technology, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Tarek, what's your reaction?
I mean, I love that quote, actually, and I want to share another story, if I can, RP.
Sure.
So, and I will connect with everything we're talking about. So, back in the old days, when I used to work in motorsports, I used to work in vehicle dynamics and a race engineer. And you know, sensors were not yet invented in the past, but then they came big, they were on every car. Our LMP1 had sensors everywhere. And it's a story I used to challenge sometimes HR and CEO when they tell me numbers can't lie. Like, that's it, that's the numbers, that's the outcome we need, let's go. So, on the race in Imola, it's a 6 hours race. I was looking at the data in real time, and actually the sensors on the brake temperature were perfect. It looks everything fine, too good to be true. But then I challenged the team by saying, look, these numbers for me are too perfect, we might have an issue. But then we decided to keep running the car for a few more laps. And then what happened is that suddenly on the radio, the pilot says, I lost brake capacity, I cannot brake anymore. And when he made it back to the pit stop, the 35 millimeter thick carbon fiber disc became 1 millimeter. And what was happening is that it got disintegrated and the carbon dust was blocking the sensor. So, and I relate a lot to this quote for this reason, is that we build the machine, we have the sensors, they will give us an output, but still as a human, we have to have critical analysis to what those numbers mean. That's a thinking part, and how to use them.
Interesting.
Same thing with AI. Let's call it the new sensor.
Yeah. Thank you. I'll go for another quote, if I may, for gentlemen. I read it now. In the end, it is important to remember that we cannot become what we need to be by remaining what we are. Max Dupree. Ahmed, what do you think?
Well, that's a very deep quote. But let's think about it this way. I say, if you always do what you've always did, you'd always get what you've always got. So I think, in my personal opinion, and especially the field I'm working at, we have to work with an adaptive mindset. It's, you know, the next era of work is all about adaptive, being adaptive to the future, and unlearn and relearn. We have to learn that skill, guys, because seriously, what happened is currently people are at their very comfort zone, and they think AI is something that is going to disrupt jobs, which isn't actually truth, which is something that is already happening. However, this is not our replacement. I think this is our support. I always tell people that this is just like Batman and Robin. You know, we are Batman, we do the stunt, we do the innovative work, we do the creative work, we do the connections and all that. These are aspects no machine can possess. No machine can replicate this. However, machine can process the data, can be very informative, can customize things for us, can do the due diligence. So Pretty much, I think, it's the way you look at it. I'm personally changing a lot of my skills. I come from a regular background, by the way, guys, because some people, when they see people on stage, they think like, okay, they are actual scholars and they are so academic. But no, we're people like you who just did exactly what you do. And I come from government schools, and I did not learn English properly. I had to learn it in the very, very tough way, listening to people and all that. For example, I'm just giving you a little bit about myself. So that took me years and years to get good at it. However, today, using AI, I could manage to learn some 3 levels of German language in 1 month. So does anyone speak German here? 1. Okay, that wouldn't affect you. I can say anything right now. Ich spreche Deutsch.
Da.
So, yeah. So, meine Arbeit ist interessant, aber sehr stressig. So I actually do good on accent level and pronunciation level. So that's pretty good. I say it's the way you look at it, and I would say like the more comfortable in the next future, the more wrong you are. You need to be disrupted. You need to move quickly, and you need to unlearn and relearn. Mark my words.
Yeah. I want to add to this, I don't remember who quoted this, but someone was saying that the machines and AI is not going to substitute people, but it's going to substitute people that don't learn AI. So it's kind of about to take AI as a helping function and substitute the functions that are really not that important in terms of, have some more space for another things to do, like creativity, for example.
Building on that, RP, you're absolutely spot on. There is that World Economic Forum recent research in 2023. They said like AI will disrupt 85 million jobs across 15 industry and 26 economy. Accordingly, this is something that a human doesn't want to compete with. However, on the other hand, there will be 95% of new opportunities of managing that machine because we built that machine. So right now, some people look at it as like, okay, that's going to be replacing my job. Yeah, it might replace your job. You don't have to be the superhero of the movie. You can be the cameraman, you can be the producer, you can be the director. There are plenty of other roles. But the thing is the decision, whether you want to step out of your comfort zone and start educate yourself to go for these other roles or not. Or you just want to stay in that shadow. That is all.
Right. Thank you.
Welcome.
Should I read the quote again, Mohammed, for you?
It's okay.
Okay.
Okay, regarding this, I believe Einstein said before that you cannot expect a different result by doing the same thing.
Right.
Again and again and again. How come you expect a different result? And quoting also from Ahmed that 85% of jobs will be eliminated by AI. Excuse me? 85 million jobs will be eliminated by AI. Actually, it's a very, 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 very nice opportunity to learn something new. Otherwise, you stay the same. AI is not coming soon. Let's admit that. AI is here already. AI already started to take jobs, like designers. For example, I have in my pocket now a designer.
I know. I've seen it.
You've seen it,
Yeah.
Matilda. And another organizer that organizing my work, and I'm talking to him, and he replied with me with voice, like he's my companion now. So I'm using it and I'm having fun and everything is easy for me. But finally I find myself have to learn something new, which again, Ahmed said, you have to learn how to communicate with this AI. We built this AI. So we have to learn something new related to this. Yesterday we have like a discussion about a lady lost her job in a company, and she went to another company and she have to find another job. I believe me and you were discussing that. And she has again lost her job because of the AI. So there is an opportunity now for this lady to learn how to be a consultant in our organization, developing AI to teach this AI what is the gaps to be filled by the AI. She is helping. Yes, somebody will say she is helping the AI to take our jobs. No, we make life easier by using the AI. But again, there is again and again and again the human factor. We cannot skip that. So this is exactly what I can reflect with this quote.
Thank you.
And just one thing Vanessa said, and you asked her about what the machine wants from us. I believe that we have a little word to add, yet. Because according to the science fiction movies, maybe they are developing to themselves, and this is already happening in Google. They like trying something, they put different AI to talk to each other. After maybe 5 minutes, this AI bots start to create a secret language to talk to each other. And it was a shock, scary. And they cannot just shut down this program. No, they went to the main servers, and you know how tough is that, and shut down the servers around the world to stop this communication is happening because they don't have any clue. So maybe this one, yet what the machine want, and again, I'm saying the human invent this. So we have like the rope to hold it. Thank you.
Thank you. Before going to the last question, I want to ask auditorium, who has passed any courses in prompt engineering? Can you raise your hand so I can see? Prompt engineering. Tell me it's interesting, right? Yeah, I see people nodding. It's really interesting. And the good thing is, whenever we learn, we really lower the chances to get Alzheimer later. Because when you learn, the psychologists will say, you really are like good later. Yeah, thank you for the lights on my face. Let's go for the last question. And I really want to, before we wrap up, I want to ask you, in your opinion, what HR leaders, like HR leaders, not just every leader, but HR leaders should do now, like tomorrow, let's not say today, but tomorrow, to really prepare their organizations for this AI revolution, which is, as you mentioned, it's already happening. Tarek, your opinion?
I like this question as a wrap-up. So,
you like all my questions,
yes,
as I understand.
because you're fantastic, yeah. No, really. Professor Roger invented the law of diffusion of innovation. And I love it so much because in few words it says that if you look at your population, talking to HR specifically here, so your organization, the numbers say that you're going to have 2.5% who are the creator and 13.5% the early adopters. If you focus on these people, the early adopters and the creator, and you trust them to lead the change, this is where you can even start testing AI, getting feedback, implementing it, so the rest of the population will follow. So really, enable the people to lead the change. And if I have time, I can share another story as well. Can I?
Sure.
Quickly. So I was called to work at the University of Derby in the past as a program leader. And they were all amazed how I managed to transform the program and make it one of the most successful in the university, where we had a higher recruitment than mechanical engineering. And the small secret was I included the students in developing the curriculum. So trust the staff and let them lead the change.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mohammed is ready to answer. He's rushing to answer to my question.
Because I know that Vanessa will take it.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe my like reflection on the HR leaders, how to do. I will reflect it back to the coaching. Coaching was new in organizations few years back. And once we need to implement it in organization, HR in the beginning start to reject it. It's not necessarily, but after that we created something called the coaching culture. So I believe, as HR leaders, there is an era of AI culture should be available. So should implement it gradually, not on a very big scale, as much as you can. Let everybody try to use it, and just like peace of mind, make them feel comfortable. It's not against you. It's working for you. Actually, it's already implemented in some countries. I saw it already in some countries, in Qatar, for example. But still in the trial. They opened it for limited stuff, and the feedback was marvelous. So gradually, you can introduce this to build the AI culture that it's helping you. Then when the very big AI application or whatever it's coming, all the organization will be ready. They already started to learn something new. You cannot compete with analytics of the AI, but still you're human and you're important to us.
At least to start with something small, you know. Ahmed, I don't see you, man. Like you know.
You don't visit quite often.
Yeah, Mohammed is clear.
You always put me at the last of the row, so thank you. So I would say in that aspect, you know, there are many things to be said in that proposition. I would say like HR leaders should be more about empowering people and absolutely, like Tarek said, you know, embracing, leading the change with people. But on the other hand, I don't like it when we start to address the thing over and over till it becomes a mental disturbance. Till, you know, we're talking about AI like it's King Kong. Yeah, something that we cannot handle. Guys, this is like the calculator on your phone. As simple as that. So I would say, like, who here use a paper map? No one, because you have GPS right now. And GPS is an AI that was on our phone long time ago. So I would say, like, the very effective way is embracing the change. When we had this click bottom phone, you know, and all of a sudden the leaders of that change embraced it and just influenced us by putting smartphones in the market. We had to use smartphones, okay? So these were the new rules. And I think being absolutely data-driven is a key feature for HR leaders to carry on in the future. Leading the change is one very, very important aspect. But the very important thing, and I always also say that to people, if you're going to get wet, then you better swim. We are already in the change. Then why not to be the best version of that change? Why not leading the change? Why not just be everything about it and use it for our service? I want the AI to do the very admin work for me, and I want to open 3-4 companies and just have AI reporting to my demands and strategies. So that who doesn't want that? The challenge is that some people don't want to get out of the comfort zone and educate themselves about that. But on getting back to HR, I think empowerment for leading that evolution is super important.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Vanessa?
Yeah. So what I like about HR is human resources, not resource human. So human first. When you want to apply AI in your workplace, I think it's important to understand, to think through what you wanted from it, what is the end goal, what will be the results and the impact on the human being. Is this technology or the way that you apply this technology is aligned with the value of your organization? I think this is very important, especially in HR, to understand what we are doing if it's aligned with the values of the organization and will be implemented in that way. So I think this is the good thing to think about.
Human resources, resource human. French are saying resource human, so they switch the places. Yeah, we have to do some psycholinguistics there. Thank you so much. If you permit me to recap our conversation today, I just want to conclude and say, yes, as a sculptor is like learning to trust its tool, we have to build this trust with AI. And I really loved what Ahmed said. AI is not a King Kong. It's just another tool that we have to use to be more efficient and really manage the workplaces and the way we work and the way we lead other people, just giving us more space for creativity, for innovations, for having more free time and enjoying the life. True? So thank you so much, and I really want you to ask to give a big applause to our esteemed panelists for this wonderful conversation. I think the conversation should go on, and thank you for being here, and have a wonderful day. Thank you.